Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Kiara Mills, and I go here at Bennett College in North Carolina. I'm a journalism and media studies student, and I'm a senior.
Excellent. And where did you study abroad?
I studied abroad in London, the United Kingdom.
Excellent. When did you go abroad again?
I went from January, and I just came back in June.
Excellent. So for the spring semester.
Yep.
Awesome. Why did you decide to study abroad?
I decided to study abroad because I've always been interested in other cultures. People that are from different places, they fascinate me, and I love researching and finding just different things about everywhere, basically. And I always thought the world is just too small to not go around. Like, we live in a world where you can get anywhere, and I really feel like it's important for everybody to try and go out and do that.
Excellent. So were finances a concern for you in terms of finding a study abroad or making it possible? And if so, can you tell us how you were able to pay for your study abroad semester in London?
Absolutely. Finances were such a major concern, like, because the pound is a lot more expensive than the U.S. dollar, and because school in general, college is expensive. But I was lucky enough that all my financial aid kind of transferred over, and I only had to pay a little bit more. So with I would advise really talking to your financial aid, people, that company, and everything, because if you find out that there's a program that fits in super nicely to your finances, it really helps that if your financial aid can cover the whole term, then you can get a little bit more money in your what is it called?
Like your account?
Yeah, your account, but your refund check. Yes,
Yeah.
love it. That refund check saves lives. So if you can find a program and research a little bit, I think that would be great. And make sure. Well, you don't have to make sure, but it's always nice to be comfortable where your program fits nicely into your account.
Good advice. Thank you. So, can you talk a little bit about if you experienced any kind of discrimination while you were abroad? And how did you deal with that? Do you feel like there were support systems in place? Things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think being an African American abroad is very different because there you're kind of just, since other places are a lot more diverse than, well, a little bit more diverse than the United States. I think they see you more as an American rather than your race. It was especially interesting in London because there's such a high African population. Um, People would just think that until you opened your mouth, people would just think that you were from London. There's such a everything high population. Like, the second most spoken language besides English there is Polish, which I never even knew and I never would have expected. But a really interesting thing is that when you meet other Africans, they ask you, just seeing that you're black, they say, where are you from? And I'll say, New Jersey. And they'll say, no, where are your parents from? And I said, Florida. And it's such a totally different mindset. They know exactly where they're from, and it's so interesting to see that. But I didn't experience myself any discrimination negatively. The only thing that would happen would, as soon as I opened my mouth and they heard I was American, they say, "Are you voting for Donald Trump?" So that was kind of interesting. But
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. I guess so. My final question is, what advice would you give to students who have never been abroad, who are maybe hesitant about pursuing a study abroad, especially for a semester? What advice would you give to those students?
I would say that people are essentially the same everywhere. I think there's so many, especially being young and being in a world that's so technologically connected, and we experience so many of the same things. There's a lot of community globally, if that makes sense. Like, we kind of, all being students, we all have different characteristics and personality traits we bond over. Like, I was watching the Beyonce video over there, and we were all like, "Oh my God, it's Beyonce! This is great!" So there are certain things that you can connect with that you can find anywhere. Like, you can connect just as much with your neighbor as you would somebody who's across the Atlantic Ocean.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.